Hey everybody, welcome to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Evan, and you're a dumb parent.
Hi everybody, my name is Kevin. And yeah, you're a dumb parent.
And that's okay.
Yeah, because we're in the mailbag.
We're in the mailbag. Here we are again, back for more.
You sent them in, we're going to read them.
That's right. And we have read them, and they're so good we have to read them to you.
Thank you for sending them. I know we've asked. And yeah, here's the mailbags.
And you know what? Here's the thing. We don't get to say this very much. Thank you. Thank you. We feel seen.
Yeah, it is nice.
It is nice,
just
right?
every week we just confess our embarrassing, moronic
stupid idiot
escapades. It's nice to know you're right there with us.
That somebody else has made a mistake out there somewhere.
Yeah. Should I start us off?
Why don't you kick us off, Kevin? Tell me what you got.
I'm going to start with one from our pal Meg. Meg?
Thank you, Meg.
Hello. Thanks for sending in. Let's get to it. Meg writes, my husband and I were taking our kindergartner to his first ever classmate birthday party at a trampoline park.
There it is. We're familiar with this situation.
Yeah. None of us had ever been, but as introverted as we are, we were all pretty nervous for various reasons. And you should be.
Yeah.
You know, see, first time at a trampoline park, you should be nervous.
Yeah.
You should.
And it doesn't necessarily go away the second time either.
Yep.
It might intensify, to be totally honest
True.
with you.
I spent the day leading up to the party time backwards planning our departure in ETA, repeatedly checking off the to-dos in my head. I have anxiety, can you tell?
Yeah, that's an introvert's approach to it.
We head for the park, which is in another town about 25 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
I put it in the GPS, and the three of us leave, not noticing that the travel time is about 45 minutes.
Okay.
That'll happen. We'll get there about...
That will happen.
We'll get there about 20 minutes later than I was expecting, so I'm on the edge. I'm on edge already.
Yeah.
I'm coaching my kiddo through the expectations for a party and keeping an eye on my spouse who hates being in loud, enclosed, busy places, which is like...
What a trampoline
built
park
into
is?
the blueprints of a trampoline park somehow. It is.
It's true.
We approach the party desk and say we're there for Madeline's party.
Mm-hmm.
The teenager behind the desk consults a clipboard, and there's no Madeline party happening.
Oh, man.
She sees my face, process this unfortunate information, and then helpfully suggests that maybe it's being held at the other trampoline park
5 minutes from your
across
house?
town, the one 25 minutes from our house. And then it all clicks for me. I just put in the name of the trampoline park to my GPS without paying attention to which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
As we were driving to the correct park, I was thinking, the dumb dads need to hear about this one. I was so embarrassed and annoyed at myself and felt like my kid wasn't going to get to play for as long and would be upset, and it was all my fault. Classical spiral. We eventually arrived at the right place, and my kiddo still had the time to jump and play while his dad and I stood around not knowing which kids or parents were part of the party until the intercom voice told us to meet in the party room. That is exactly what happens every time.
Happens. Will the burger party please head up to room number 4?
Yep.
Your jump time's over.
You just wait for someone to make eye contact with you and go, hey, and you go,
Yeah,
hey, it's
yeah,
me.
okay,
That's for me. It all turned out absolutely fine, and I try to remember that moment whenever I start to imagine the worst or jump to conclusions about how something is going to go.
I get it. Jump to
Parenting
conclusions.
is hard. Yeah, jumping high.
It's good.
Parenting is hard. Why do we do this? I love your podcast and your videos and really appreciate how honest and genuine you both are. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Meg.
I feel like to a certain extent we've all done something like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, too, because those trampoline parks, they hold a tight schedule.
They have people in the back just with brooms, just push brooms, just pushing cash into a safe.
It's wild.
I imagine the insurance is quite pricey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to work at a trampoline park in complete fear of just watching all the middle-aged men having their knees go the opposite way. It would be too scary to watch. The amount of times we've been to these things, we've both been to a birthday party before. I held my sons at once, and it's like we're talking to Chris Gethard on our podcast when he's like, I'm the dad who's just out there jumping. But like you get out there jumping, thinking like, yeah, trampolines, I remember this. This is fun. And then you have like one like moment where your knees kind of go, hold on a second.
Hey,
Hey, whoa. I thought we were watching today. Before, it just seems like such a scary thing. You're working there.
The guy who doesn't stretch wants to do that?
Yeah, full force it into the foam pit and see how long it takes you to get out. That's a good story.
That's a good story. Thank you, Meg.
First birthday party, too. That's rough. Although I was worried the whole time. I'm thinking like 45 minutes, 25 minutes. Although 45 minutes, they probably were there like maybe 5 or 10 minutes late to the original, not knowing how far away it was. Maybe on time. So really 25 minutes in, like, you're fashionably late for the trampoline party. It's no big deal.
They ask you to get there half hour early.
Oh,
so I bet she was aiming for it. So it's still pretty late.
To the next one, I mean, like, some of the kids got their socks already. Then by the time you show up, it's like, let's jump. Let's go. Not stressed at all. Not stressed in any way, shape, or form. Let's meet new people. Probably not happening.
No.
Next one is from Ben.
Ben.
Hey, guys. My name's Ben, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ben. I have a 4-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son who I endearingly refer to as the children of the corn.
Oh.
My wife and I have always been a 50-50 couple and each do our part in taking care of our kids. Love that. One of our goals this year was for each of us to have a weekend away. Love that, too. Wow, this is great plans. How could this possibly go wrong?
I think it's going to be a fine one.
Anyway, our family's great. We have a great time together. I love the podcast. Well, this past weekend, my wife had a great girls' trip to Fredericksburg, Texas. I'm a nurse and often take care of the kids while my wife works on the weekends, so I went into the 3-day weekend with an absolute confidence that I would have everything under control. Mm-hmm. Again, what the confidence. The confidence before the action takes place
it's wild.
Such a misstep.
Also, Fredericksburg sounds made up.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Where are you going this weekend? Fredericksburg.
It's in Texas.
Kinston.
And that's what I know. I just know there's a good time to be had there. That's all I know.
Just outside of New Texas.
First day went great with a trip to Target and Chick-fil-A. Fun was had by all. The townspeople rejoiced. The next morning, my son woke up with a 102.2 fever and a terrible cough.
Great.
Wow. You see how quickly that can turn.
That is parenting.
No worries, as I can handle that. As a nurse, of course. The only hindrance being that he did not want to be put down at all.
Oh.
Or he would raise a battle cry similar to the climax of Endgame.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Heard.
Specific.
Heard, yes.
Yeah.
My daughter is fairly self-sufficient and was a great help all day. That's fantastic. And then the sun set, and so did any hope I had for a peaceful night to myself. Here's where it really turns.
Okay.
My son woke up at around 10 p.m., still fevering and refusing to be put down. I was attempting to get him back to sleep when I heard my daughter cry out. Thinking it was just her wanting to sleep in the bed with me, I took my son and cracked open the door to tell her to head to our room. That was when the rancid smell hit me.
Oh, no.
My poor daughter was sitting in a bed covered in her own vomit. I immediately put down my son back in his crib, to which he wailed like a banshee, and began stripping my daughter's bed and getting her in the bathtub. This is probably a good time to mention that my daughter is deathly afraid of washing her hair in the bathtub. After you've set her in the bathtub. So, as I began drenching her head in water and picking out chunks of vomit, she emitted screams that will haunt me for the rest of my days. I can only imagine. Long story short, by 2 a.m., the kids were asleep and I had already cried multiple times. But I got it done. And in my dumb dad moment, overconfidence, thinking that I could do this alone. Shout out to my amazing wife, who is my person, and I am forever grateful that we're able to tag team these two gremlins. Thanks, guys, for helping us laugh through the tears and being all-around great fellow dads. Benjamin. That is the definition of overconfidence and then karma.
I'm going to push back, though. Ben, you said your dumb dad moment was your overconfidence that you could do it.
Uh-huh.
You did it, buddy.
He did it. That's right.
This is parenting.
That's exactly
There's no
right.
better way to do that. That's all you can do.
All you can do is get to the next step.
Get that chicken pot pie out of her hair and get them back to bed.
wash it out while she
Wash it out.
just washing over with distrust of you.
Successful
putting her in the
parenting
bathtub.
does not mean sleep.
No,
Never has.
No. Thinking that you were excited about an evening alone after you calmly put the kids down, that's kind of what just kind of jinxed it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still got through it. That's a
You
great
got
point,
through
Kevin.
it.
You got through it. Good job, Benji.
This next one is from Matthew. Hello, fellow dumb dads. My
Hello,
name
Matthew.
is Matthew. Hi, Matthew. And I'm a dumb dad. My daughter is 2.5 years old. She has had a little bit of a cold recently, so yesterday morning when she told me she was cold, the first thing I did was check her temperature. It was normal, so I asked if she wanted a sweatshirt. She did not. But that's
obviously
that's children.
Yeah,
That's
that's children.
I'm cold. Do you want a blanket?
No,
Stop it. Leave me alone.
don't talk to me.
So I asked if she wanted a jacket. She said
No,
no.
declined.
Yep. So I decided to grab a big blanket and wrap her up in it. I snuggled her up so tightly in the blanket, around her legs and arms and over her shoulders, and I tucked it into her itself over her shoulders so it would stay in place. It was like she was in a little cocoon. She
I was going to say burrito, but yeah, I can
loved
see
it. Yeah. Yeah, teach yourself. She loved it. She was giggling and waddling around and acting silly. She waddled out into our kitchen where I was standing doing some dishes, tripped on the blanket, and since I'd wrapped her arms up, fell nose first onto the hard floor.
Yes, 100%.
After
That's
about
exactly what
10
happened.
minutes of screaming, she settled down, and I was able to see that her nose was fine. I just felt like a big dummy. Anyway, I've been really enjoying the podcast, and I thought I should share my dumb dad moment with y'all. Thanks, Matthew. This is a very funny visual. That's all.
Are you still leaning more cocoon or more burrito?
I don't know what I'm leaning towards.
I don't know either.
That's my favorite. That's really good. It's
You know what?
because if he was watching her do it, I'm sure he was doing dishes, so he probably wasn't watching, which is,
But
it's
if he just turns around
unfortunate
and she's
because
just
she
like-
turned out fine. She turned out fine, but like you kind of wish you had seen that if he didn't.
Right.
It's
You at least
quite
have the
quite
visual.
a collapse.
Because if he
And-
didn't,
You see her fall, and you go, this is gonna be bad. It's either forehead or nose. She went with forehead.
Yeah.
Or she went with nose.
that's right. If you see it happen, it's in slow motion, and you're realizing like her arms are tucked in because of me.
I did that.
Yeah. If you didn't see it, you just hear a thud, and you turn around, and the blanket's just face down on the
Yeah.
the cocoon. That then it would look like a cocoon because there'd be no face. There'd be no open end like a burrito.
But if she got a bloody nose, you got hot sauce.
That's
Or
true.
an enchilada sauce.
Yeah. Maybe it's like hot sauce on a cocoon. I don't even know how that could be a thing, but
Moving on.
moving on to Connor.
Thank you, Matthew.
Hello, my name is Connor. I'm a dumb dad.
Hello, Connor.
Hello, Connor. Thank you for your user submission. I was inspired to send this story about the final 5 months before my now 2-year-old son was born by our episode called Holy DIY by Naturally, the RSV croup flu every kid seemed to have in December.
Oh, my gosh.
Combined with myself having knee surgery earlier this month, had delayed this.
Well, yeah, you got to put things off.
Stack it all
You
on
gotta put
top
things
of
off.
it. Yeah, exactly. Order of importance here. Priorities. Once my wife and I found out we were having a kid, we made a list of the stuff around the house we wanted to get dialed in before he was born. Great.
Love that.
That's exactly what everybody does. Make a list and then ignore it for months.
Oh, yeah. What's this list?
We've since sold it and moved. But this house needed some work. Oh, man, I should have got to that sentence next.
That's not a good start.
My wife's number one thing she wanted was a dishwasher, as there was none in the new house, understandably. Feeling handy, I decided I could do it myself without issue. Though I hired an electrician to put in the outlet under the sink for the garbage disposal
Great
and
start.
the dishwasher. That's a great start.
You don't know what you're doing, dummy.
Yeah, you think I can do this part, but I bet this part also has to happen. I can't do that part. Hire someone.
Sometimes it is cheaper.
She'll approve of this decision.
Good work.
Probably even applaud you for it. As my wife got to be about 4 months pregnant, I decided it was time to get started, thinking I had plenty of time.
Yeah. Okay, now
Guessing
we're making mistakes.
Guessing you didn't. To the left of the sink was a base cabinet about 9 inches wider than a standard dishwasher. to the right of the sink, to the left. The cabinet was up against a pantry closet, basically. Thinking I was smart, overconfident, let's say, going
in. The name of the podcast.
I decided, thinking I was smart is a great name for a podcast. I decided the best course of action would be to remove this cabinet. And while pulling it out, put up a 2x4 to support the heavy granite countertop the previous owner of the house installed a few years before. Thinking things through. I appreciate this. Here we are. While I was able to get the cabinet out, moments later in slow motion, the 2x4 not being in the right spot slipped and the entire section of the countertop broke off at the sink. As the palm of my hand hit my face and I let out a long, deep sigh. Just as Kevin just did.
Yeah, that's...
I realized this meant...
a cheap moment.
I was probably going to need to replace all the countertops and probably the undermount sink. Figuring this would be pretty quick and wanting to open the kitchen up a bit, I decided...
Wait, hold on. Why are we back to confident?
I don't know.
Why are we back to confident?
It's about finding the confidence.
No.
I decided I'd also remove the pantry closet as it stuck out of the wall. Yeah, if you're going to go in. This, of course, took much longer than I expected and had to figure out how to repair the uneven ceiling, drywall, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. It just keeps happening.
It's a snowball. To try to prevent this from being an essay, this has all ended up as a full kitchen remodel, minus flooring. New butcher block countertops and island, backsplash, sink, stove, and fridge. What was supposed to be a project done in maybe 1 to 2 weeks turned into a remodel and repaint that didn't finish until my son was a few months old, though the dishwasher was working by the time he was born. This was my first home DIY of any sort. Welcome to the club. And it was a major trial by fire. All told, it worked out and came out great. But boy, was I tired once it was actually done, and my wife much less stressed. I learned a lot and went on to successfully remodel the bathroom with the skills I had learned. But I also learned to try to plan things out a bit more and also make sure heavy things are well supported. While I don't have a ton of photos of it, then he sent some photos, and they're pretty good. He did a nice job.
Yeah.
Months later. Thank you for the fun podcast. I discovered it not long before my son was born. Probably while you were working on the kitchen. Hopefully was a nice listen. I'd like to think that if we dumb dads all stick together and try to help one another out, we just might be slightly smarter for a very brief moment. That is a lot to support, hopefully, with more than a 2x4. Appreciate. Thanks, Connor, for sending that in. That's a lot of pressure on us, and we don't accept it. But
that's good. We love it.
It's good. Man. The first venture in doing a DIY project at your house, that's exactly how they all go.
That's how they go.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to replace the light bulb. Go to the hardware store. Had to go back. Got the wrong one. You're always going more than once.
It's not about confidence. It's about being pleasantly surprised afterwards.
With how nicely it turned out. Oh, man.
I bought when I moved into this house, there'll be a quick story. When I moved into this house, all of the bedrooms had 2 slides, one for the light and one for the fan. Like a dimmer.
Bunch of ceiling fans, yeah.
Ceiling fans, light situation. So the lights had dimmers and the fans had speeds.
Yeah.
And then one by one, they started shorting out like the controls. So I figured out that it was the controls. So I replaced them. And when I replaced the one in the kids' room, when I tell you what I did, maybe would scare an electrician, but it was literally like, go outside, hit the breaker, turn it off, go in, wire the new one, go back, turn it on, play with the switches. Now it's not, like I paid attention when I was taking it apart. Now it's not working the same thing. Went out, I tried the wires like 8 different ways, which there's only like 4 wires. There shouldn't be, but there was. And it was like, it was insane. It was insane. DIY is insane. It's a lot of...
And apparently hiring a very cheap, shady electrician for someone else to do it later on makes it complicated to just switch out your switches.
Here's the thing. Electricians will back me up on this too. I've also had electricians in and other where they go like, what the hell is this?
I know. That's so scary. That's scary when you find stuff like that. Wild.
Wild.
But hey, your switches work.
Yeah, what did I do to fix it? I was like,
You just plastered over it.
I went, what am I doing giving my kids? Why am I going with the design that the people who sold this house to me did?
Sure.
They don't need a dimmer in their room. So they just got an on-off switch with a speed slide.
Yeah, there you go.
Get out of here. All right. Here, this one is from Gregory. Hello, Gregory.
Hello, Gregory.
He says, "Hi, Dumb Dads. Thanks for creating a great podcast that helps me feel seen as I drive aimlessly to Target or Costco during the week as a stay-at-home dad."
Yeah.
My daughter is now 1, and there has been a constant stream of dumb dad moments. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, the three of us, wife, daughter, and dad, were out at our favorite local cash-only pizza place. Fortunately, this time I had remembered to visit the ATM and had the necessary funds to pay for our pizza.
I love that.
Why does that sound like you forgot before?
And your favorite place.
Hey.
It's either your favorite place or your favorite cash-only place, both of which seems like you should have some cash on you on your way there.
Okay, hey, stay off the grid, man. I get it. I'm with you.
The pizza place or the dad?
Yeah, all of it.
Okay.
When I saw that the cost of our dinner would be just under $30, my socially awkward, dumb dad brain started to panic. Do I tip $11 to avoid an awkward exchange and spend $2 more than I normally would? Or do I ask for the change, threatening the sanity of my whole family and kicking off a chain of events that would ultimately end with my daughter in tears?
That's a stretch, possibly, but I think
it's
that.
Foreshadowing.
Oh, I see. I see what's happening here.
Yeah. I walked the 2 steps to the register, my family seated at the closest possible table.
2 steps, you're right there.
He's just standing 2 steps back. "Sir, can I help you?"
And he's like,
turn around. Do I tip the $11? "Sir, do you need..."
Sir, who are you talking to?
My daughter was getting uncomfortable and starting to fuss. My wife trying to distract the bomb so it does not explode.
Mm-hmm.
I wait for our server to finish her tasks, and as she approaches the register, she asks if I would like change. As I say yes, so he went with that.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel the situation behind me getting more unstable. The server opens the register and asks, "Is 2 5s okay?" At this simple, normal question, I panic. I am now risking a meltdown for $1. I just want to point out, this is your favorite place. You said it's your favorite, and the anxiety that they put you in. I try to abort. I sputter out of panic. "That's okay. Just keep the change." Confused by my strange behavior, she says she'll give me the change and hands me $11-ish. I take out the 2 5s and put them in the tip cup and quickly turn back to my family. What is happening? Now I'm starting to wonder, like, is he paying cash because he robbed a bank and he's on the run?
I gotta dump these 5s.
Oh my God! I went to the ATM. The FBI is gonna know. They're gonna see the transaction. They're gonna be here any second.
Let's go to Mario's. Yeah. Get whatever you want.
My daughter is on the verge of a meltdown, and in my panic state that was brought on by the most benign social awkwardness, I forgot that I am a tall man and shouldn't be hoisting my daughter onto my shoulders inside. Okay. Cut to exterior pizza shop. My daughter has hit her head on the frame of the door. She's crying. We are freaking out. People are staring. I feel awful. A few kisses and a walk around the block, and she was fine. For me, I don't think I'll ever forget how dumb I felt in that moment.
Of course, people are staring. They're like, "Isn't that the guy that robbed the bank down on 4th earlier today?"
Thanks for the great pod. Greg in Massachusetts. Greg in Massachusetts. What pizza shop did you go to? All right, Boston Pizza's pretty good. I'm from Boston.
But I would like to know where it is. Please DM us and let us know so we can call them and
see
if they all remember this account where I need change, but you can have it. No, you have it. No, you have it.
It's just funny. I mean, I get it. I'm socially awkward too, but I just like this. This is like my favorite spot. And they're like,
favorite spot.
2 5s, okay? I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we gotta leave now. Love this place. We'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for sending that in. I think we're on to the last one. We got one more?
Yeah, we got one more.
We got one more from Liz. This is from Liz. Thank you for sending it in, Liz. You ready, Kevin? There it goes. Here goes nothing.
Liz.
Liz writes, "Hey, guys. First off, love the podcast.
Thank
you.
you.
The concept, everything. High compliments. Thank you, Liz. I find myself relating to you more often than many of the other parenting podcasts out there, and have eaten up your content like a McDonald's fry I found in between the cracks of the seats in my mom car and pickup.
Don't do that. You'll crack
What?
You'll snap a crown.
What a specific compliment. I love that. I'm tired all the time, and my kids, 8 and 5, find a way to keep me on my toes almost always. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes,
that's
correct.
About how I feel, yeah.
Checks out.
Yesterday, after a whole night of one kid in our bed post-nightmare and one kid who won't get up in less than twice a night, I got a total of about 3 hours of interrupted, punched in the jaw, shit sleep. I was a zombie all day, and it's a wonder didn't just collapse while on the toilet. That is a relatable feeling.
Uh-huh.
After a necessary pizza for dinner delivery, not cash only, I prepped dinner for my partner and proceeded to sit with my daughter to make bracelets in hopes that it would run out the clock until bedtime.
Thanks.
It took me about 2 full minutes to realize the smoke alarms were blaring and it wasn't next door. Ran to the kitchen to see flames almost coming out of the oven, only to immediately realize the, quote, dinner I was, quote, prepping for my partner was really just me broiling the shit out of the first of the 3 pizza boxes I had forgotten were in the oven.
Oh, man.
Went into mom or flight mode, ripped off my very flammable robe, used tongs and a knife to rip the flaming box out of the oven and into the sink, and spent the rest of the night airing out the house during the California rainstorm that was raging outside. Still smells like smoke. Kids are good after I convinced my youngest it was just a drill, baby. I'm still tired.
A drill, baby.
High fives from Elise Oviedo, Liz. Oh, man. Talk about...
Good for you for taking the robe off.
That's right.
I respect that move.
Yeah, mom or flight mode went right to mom. Love that. That is a 3 steps back, 0 steps forward procedure. I don't know if anybody ate.
I don't think they were hungry anymore. They were exhausted at that point.
That's got to be a tough odor in the morning and the next morning, just like adjacent to burning popcorn in the microwave. Can't get over that soon.
Was heartbreaking because, I mean, I've had pizza semi-recently, but just hearing that, I was like, oh, man, we haven't had pizza for takeout in a while. That sounds great. Like,
yeah, imagine moments before you think you're going to eat it, and it's just on fire.
It's just...
Man, we haven't had pizza.
Not what flame broiled means.
No, man, we haven't had pizza in a while, and I think it'll be quite some time before we do it again.
So just have a bunch of black triangles.
Oh, man, Liz.
We have dragon glass.
I love that kids are good after I convinced my youngest. It was just a drill, baby.
Just a drill, baby.
You see how I took off the robe? Now that's essential. That sucker will light me up like a candle if I keep that on next time. So you take it off, and then you dispatch the pizza. There was no pizza in there. Let's get real. It was a drill.
Pizza. We don't eat pizza in this family. I'm so hungry.
I'm so hungry. I'm going to take a bite of the box. Thank you for all those submissions. Those are fantastic.
Thank
They're
you
super fun
so
to read.
much for all of them.
And if you want to send us your submissions, you can hit us up on Instagram. You could, you could DS on YouTube, where you can watch these episodes. You can make a comment. You can rate and review the podcast. You can email us, dumbdadpod@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. We are at the Dumb Dads on all social media, including Threads. I don't know.
We're on the Threads, writing jokes.
We did it. Writing jokes. The jokes will land there, and if they don't, we will remove them because we're honest about it. No, we're just going to leave them there. It's too lazy. Thanks again for all our users for sending in their submissions.
Thank you. Keep them coming.
We love you. Thank you for being dumb and staying dumb with us and acknowledging it, because it helps us all just feel like parenting is hard and it's a little bit normal now. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you at the next Dumb Dad moment.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?